All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So Jeremy Fowler of ESPN just reported that the New York Jets are looking at potentially moving wide receiver Mecole Hardman. Obviously, the trade deadline is in a couple of weeks. It's right around week 8, and it's week 6 now. And quite frankly, Mecole Hardman is a guy that I'm not going to lie to you. When the Jets initially signed him, I thought to myself, let's go. Let's go, right? We got a critical piece from a Super Bowl winning team in the Kansas City Chiefs. Mecole Hardman right now is the best deep threat on the New York Jets. He's the fastest player on the New York Jets. I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be awesome. Aaron Rodgers, in the event that Zach Wilson has to play, both Rodgers and Wilson have big arms to really push the ball down the field. Two good running backs in Breece Hall, and at the time we didn't bring in Dalvin Cook wasn't a Jet, so I was thinking Breece Hall, Michael Carter. We can really work off of play action and just really get defenses to kind of creep up, and then boom, Mecole Hardman's in the game, and we can beat him deep. And that has not happened, literally whatsoever. He can't even get in the game. Mecole, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was like if it's a Joe Douglas problem, if it's a Nathaniel Hackett problem. I guess we can also say or ask, is it a Mecole Hardman problem, right? Because, I'm not at practice watching every single, wide receiver drill and whatnot. Maybe Hardman looks like a different player, but I got to be honest with you, I doubt it. I really don't think so. But this has to be one of the strangest stories, in my opinion, of the NFL season so far. I mean, the Jets just brought him in this offseason, signed him to like a 1 year, $6 million deal, 1 year, $5 million deal or something like that. Like, you don't go out, pay that type of money early in the free agency process for somebody that you have no clue how to use. You don't really have a plan on how to use them. You're doing a move like this to really boost the offense. And quite frankly, he's just not even getting an opportunity to show what he can do. And I think that's the most frustrating part for me, right? If he was in there and he's just not performing well, right? If he was out there for like 70, 60% of the snaps and he's just like has 3 catches or something like that, and he's just not making an impact, but he's being thrown to, he can't get open. That's understandable. I could see why the Jets would want to trade him. Or if he was like if the Jets were in like a Chase Claypool situation, right? Where there were, reports about the Jets sending Mecole Hardman home and he's kind of a locker room cancer and you don't really know about the future of the team. Okay, understandable. But for him to not even crack the lineup, it's just mind-boggling to me. Absolutely crazy. So I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments section. Funny enough, I actually did a stream. I was streaming with Bleacher Report yesterday about different trade ideas after the Jets win. And Mecole Hardman was talked about for two specific trades that I don't want to say, had my eye on or anything like that. But there are 2 teams that stand out that I do feel like makes sense for Mecole. I guess we could just kind of break it down here. So I think the LA Chargers make a lot of sense, right? The Chargers are a win now. They're 2-2. Mike Williams obviously went down, and I feel like the Chargers every single year battle injury. Mecole Hardman isn't a guy that's going to, require a first or a second or a third round pick via trade, right? So the Chargers could deal maybe like a 4th rounder to the New York Jets. They get Hardman in the building, somebody with speed, somebody who can take the top off of a defense. And ideally, right, you think about Justin Herbert, big arm, deep plays, explosive, moonshot type of passes down the field. And Mecole Hardman knows the Kansas City Chiefs. He knows Patrick Mahomes. He knows Andy Reid. So he could give the Chargers, a little bit of insight on how the Chiefs operate. Some inside information, if you will. So I think the Chargers make a ton of sense. The second team was the LA Rams, and they're 2-3 right now, but they've looked a lot better than what people kind of thought or expected going into the season, right? What Sean McVay is doing with this roster is really, really impressive. you already have Matt Stafford in house, but Mecole Hardman could come in, and like Sean McVay is an absolute mastermind. He's a wizard at knowing how to work to specific players' skill sets. And I feel like, again, Mecole Hardman, there's a lot to like there. Whether you want to send him on deep shots, whether you want to use him in different trick plays, or toss him a quick screen. Hardman is cheap. He's not going to cost a lot to go get, like via trade package. So I was thinking, okay, the Rams don't have a 4th-round pick, maybe 2 5th-rounders, or like a 5th and a 6th, or something like that, and the Jets just cut their losses, and all of a sudden the Rams get a guy who could pretty much step in and be like the 3rd option, like 3rd option guaranteed, especially with Cooper Kupp coming back. So I thought that made a lot of sense, but I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Of course, I'm not saying I'm right here or anything like that. Those are just the 2 teams that come to mind when I think about a potential Mecole Hardman trade. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much, and as always, go Jets.